Welcome to Canine Revolution Radio. Presented by Canine Revolution Dog Training, enhancing the dog and owner relationship through education, balance, and pack instinct.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode, Canine Revolution Radio. We're here to peel back the onion layers that's going on in the dog's mind.
Back to the onion.
Maybe your mind. If you listened to our last episode, you know what we're talking about with the onion layers.
If you didn't,
you're wrong.
stop listening to this episode.
You need to go back and listen to the episode before this one about insecurity. Also, had to mention in the last episode, Samantha was sleeping the entire time we were shooting that episode. It's now the next week, and she is still sleeping.
Yeah, right over here on the couch.
Well, sometimes you need some rest.
Hey, she does work hard, though.
You got to listen to your body sometimes when your body asks you to, take a little nap. Sometimes you got to do it.
If you don't, it will.
But when I try to take a nap, you
That's
yell
not
at me.
No rest.
Say, get back to work.
Can't
I
take a
don't take
vacation
naps.
either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no naps, no
Did
vacation.
you see what I posted on Instagram about a vacation? He came up in my comment section. You know the rules, boys.
Sometimes you got a vacation.
Like go on a cruise?
Yeah,
Like 3 times a year?
once a year. One cruise a year.
Chris has cut back on the cruises. All right, pack dynamics. That's what we're talking about today. So one of the pillars here at Canine Revolution Dog Training is pack mentality, pack instincts, dealing with pack instincts. So today we're going to be talking about some of the, key points to pack dynamics, pack instincts, pack mentality in the dog pack and the dog's ancestor, the wolf, right? So hopefully this discussion today is going to help you understand that a little bit better and think about how you can apply these principles, at home with your own dog, right? All right, so in order to effectively communicate and clearly communicate with our dogs on a very instinctual level, we have to deep dive into how the natural dog pack operates. No problem with that. There's been a ton of studies conducted on dog packs and the dog's ancestor, the wolf. So today what we're going to be doing is taking a look at some of the key takeaways from these studies. We've all read books on these studies. We've read books and we've watched video documentaries that are studying legit raw dog and wolf packs, right? And we can see everything we're talking about, even in a wild dog, wild wolf that has not been domesticated, very minimal human contact. We see the things we talk about every single day with their body language, with the way they operate. We're going to be talking about that today because what we like to do is reflect that with the training dogs we're working with our own dogs, with the people that we work with. We want to tap into that natural pack instinct. That's what we're going to be doing today, okay? You guys got anything to start off with? Any little comments?
I'm saving
little
mine.
teasers you got?
I'll pop them in there as I need to.
I'm just thinking about onions.
All right. So to understand the dog, first we have to look at where the dog came from, and that is the wolf, right? Dogs are wolves at their basic instinctual level, and over time, human intervention and breeding through the centuries has altered the dog's appearance and its mind from that of the wolf, right? So they don't look like wolves all the time, but their instincts are still the same. Even your Chihuahua, even your Pomeranian, even your toy Yorkie, right? Even your Great Dane, even your Mastiff, all these different breeds, they have the instincts of their ancestor, the wolf, right? Canine instincts, okay? All dogs and wolves, they're pack animals. And what a pack animal is an animal which lives in a structured group of others of the same species who stick together for various purposes, right? So in a pack, there's going to be various personalities, right? So the three of us could be considered a pack. We all have our different personalities, but we operate together for our purpose, for our mission, you know what I'm saying? To provide support to each other, right? So in a pack, it is not enough for animals of the same species to be in the same place at the same time, right? So if the three of us and then 2 other people are in the same place at the same time, it doesn't make us all 5 a pack, right? A pack is much more complicated. In a wolf pack, there is a strong bond between members and there's a clear understanding of the pack hierarchy, right? Strangers are not automatically accepted into a pack, and acceptance into the pack may only occur after elaborate rituals and ceremonies.
Like we jump each other in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, like Ben's birthday, you know?
Yeah. Tied him up, saran wrap.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Hung him upside down on a tree for a couple of hours. Good to go.
Now he's part of the pack.
Now he's part of that. Good
Rituals.
to go. That's one of the rituals, right? So, I mean, think about it. Think about rituals. They apply like across the board in packs, and like your family could be a pack, your workplace could be considered a pack, you know? So, like, the process of acceptance into a pack may sound familiar with something that you're familiar with in a human aspect, you know? So, like the military, for example. If you're going to join the military, what do you got to do? You got to go through boot camp, right? So that is a ritual and a ceremony to be accepted into the pack, right? And then as soon as you complete boot camp, if you fail, you're not in the pack, right? If you don't make it through, you're not in the pack. But if you make it through boot camp, you're in the pack. Now you're in the pack hierarchy, and there is a way to work your way up in the hierarchy, you know what I'm saying? But you start off at the bottom, you know, and work your way up. Good to go, you know? Law enforcement, same thing. They got to go through the police academy, right? If you're going to go to a certain university, right, you got to meet a specific requirement. Maybe you have to have certain grades, you know, whatever. You got certain criteria, you know, and if you don't complete the coursework at that university, you don't get accepted into the pack of alumni. You know what I'm saying? You don't get the ring, or you don't get the certificate, what do they call it? Diploma?
Degree?
Yeah, degree.
He has one, by the way.
He has one of those.
A pretty complicated one, too.
You don't get the degree, you know what I'm saying? So, the certificate.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Good job completing college. Here's a certificate
Thanks
and a
for the
lollipop.
$100,000.
Yeah.
You know?
Thanks for your money.
Anyway, so in the human world, there's tons of examples that you can find that will reflect upon the natural dynamic of a dog or a wolf pack, which further indicates how important it is to understand the pack dynamics and to be able to reflect them as best as possible at home with your own dog. You know, keep in your mind as we're going through this, think about rituals, right? You got to complete the rituals, okay? So let's talk about another thing that both dogs and wolves live and operate by, and this is a basic underlying premise. Here it is. It might shock some people, right?
Get ready.
Here we go. Dogs and wolves operate by nothing in life is free, and nothing is free of consequences, right?
There's an onion for you.
That's a mind blower right there. Nothing in life is free, nothing is free of consequences, right? This is how the pack operates, but this is also how the world operates.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So keep that premise in your mind as we go through this, okay? Dogs and wolves also believe that everything must be earned, and they are also social beings with an extraordinary ability to compromise. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, and they always still try to get the best out of every situation, which honestly, we as humans can take that and apply it to our own world. You know, sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose. It doesn't mean you need to be have a big ego about it, or be a Debbie Downer, or be a poor sport, you know what I'm saying? But you still need to try and get the best out of every single situation that you find yourself in.
Well, I think at some point, you know, mankind did live by these rules, and we're starting to lose that, where you don't have to necessarily earn things.
Yeah.
You don't have to earn positions as
We're
much.
soft now. Uber Eats will bring me my food.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I don't have to go out and hunt for it.
So, unfortunately, nowadays, some things in life are free.
Yeah.
You know? And, I think if we
Well, free to some people, but then it's paid.
there's
for
always a
by-
cost. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But
No such thing as a free lunch.
yeah, that's
know.
right. Well, unless Chad's buying.
Still not free for me, boy.
So the consequence of that situation, our consequence is good. His consequences.
Right. Not as good.
It's still good consequence because, you know, if I buy you guys lunch, you guys are like, hey, you know, let's do some extra work. Or
Extra nap times.
I say, you know, I don't feel so good. I have to sleep. You
Is
know
that
what I'm
what?
saying?
Did you buy Samantha lunch
I
today?
did not buy her.
Is that why she's sleeping?
No. She must have had a rough weekend, boys.
We're digressing again.
All right, so anyway, keep in mind, nothing in life is free. Nothing is free of consequences. You know, dogs, wolves, they're social beings. They have the ability to compromise. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You don't be a Debbie Downer about it. You don't be a poor sport. You still get the best out of every situation, right? So let's talk about, you know, a pack, you know, when they're established. A pack is established when the individuals need each other, when they support each other in the performance of vital daily functions. So let's talk about a traditional family. They need each other, right? Emotionally, physically, just whatever they're doing, right? Companionship, partnership, all that kind of stuff. They're also supporting each other, traditional family, maybe the husband is out working, the wife is at home taking care of the kids or, taking care of the house or whatever, so the husband's supporting the family by providing the income. The wife is supporting the family by taking care of stuff around the house, or maybe it's vice versa, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe both are working. They come home, they support each other. Maybe they do some stuff together, they hang out, all that kind of stuff, So like, family is going to be helping each other in the performance of vital daily functions, just like a pack would be, Kevin, you got some thoughts on that?
I don't have a family.
You look like you had some thoughts on that. But so like, again, what we're talking about with the pack reflected in your daily life as a human as well. Like in your workplace, like for us, this is, I guess you could call it work, but we're just, hanging out, training some dogs.
Packing it out.
Doing our thing,
I don't think I've called it work since I started here, honestly.
But we need each other, right? We got things that need to be accomplished. We need support, right? There might be a tough dog case where it takes me and Kevin to help one dog overcome a specific issue. You know what I'm saying? It might be two dogs where all three of us need to help these dogs overcome some type of issue.
Chris might go on a cruise and might need Chad and Kevin to cover down for him for a little bit.
Yeah, that happens all the time. But we also support each other. Like you got a hard case.
Yeah.
Hard case with the dog. You got to be able to talk to each other about that, support each other, talk about learning theory. Hey, have you tried this part of operant conditioning? Have you tried this piece of classical conditioning? Have you tried bouncing ideas off of each other to support each other? You know what I'm saying? So some of the functions that a pack, a dog or wolf pack may have that are vital could be, migrating dens, could be hunting prey, could be caring for the puppies or the young in the pack, stuff like that, right? They learn familiarity with each other through daily routines, and they also create exclusive rituals specific to the pack, right? So every pack's gonna have a different ritual, kind of like a sports team. I'm sure sports teams have rituals, you know what I'm saying, that they perform. Nobody knows about them, but like if you're in the team, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It'd be like the All Blacks down in New Zealand. They do what's that? A haka? Is that what it's called? Man,
yeah,
those things. Before every game,
Yeah.
get one in.
Yeah.
There you go. And I know, like when I was at the Citadel, we had rituals.
We can't talk about that
Can't
on
talk about
camera.
those rituals.
Rituals, right?
All that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So these routines and rituals are very, very important to maintain the relationships of the pack and a stable rank order. As you go up in the hierarchy in a pack, there's going to be a ritual every time you move up, you know what I'm saying? But routine is critical, Many times during a single day, the various members of the pack will assure each other through these rituals that nothing has changed, that dominant and submissive positions are still in existence and stability is maintained. An example of a ritual could be the playtime, when they're playing, even in their play. To someone that doesn't know what they're looking at, it may just look like two dogs or two wolves just going at it, having a good time. Really, they're exerting dominance and submission in play, practicing that, right? Doing that. They're having a good time, but they're still doing that, you know what I'm saying, to maintain stability about their position, stability about the pack, you know what I'm saying? And if two dogs are playing and then they get into a fight, that just means that the play was no longer maintaining that stability, so one amped up to try and maintain that, you know what I'm saying? What do y'all got on that? Anything so far?
It can be. You can also see this, like especially if you've ever watched the Discovery Channel or any wolf documentary, whatever, like feeding times. Just like what part of the animal is getting eaten, who's eating first. Are they feeding the puppies before the rest of the pack eats, that kind of stuff. That'd be like another ritual that you see.
Oh yeah.
That's also showing this dominance and submission as well. So it looks like they're just going to town on a caribou, but really there's other things going on as well where they're maintaining that social order.
Yeah, some of the pack members are not able to eat until the higher ranking members have gotten their fill, right? So knowing about rituals and routines is a critical piece of information to keep in mind and to use during your daily life with your own pet dog, right? Keep your daily routine consistent and perform rituals throughout the day to maintain a leader/follower mindset and role inside your pack, right? And the leader is more of a dominance position, follower is more of a submissive position, right? But daily routine, daily rituals throughout the day, that's going to maintain that stability at home with your pet dog. Even if you had no training, if you had a routine, if you had some sort of ritual, right, that you're performing with your dog, that's going to maintain that mindset, tap into pack instinct, right? So one of the things that we at Canine Revolution Dog Training do every single day with the dogs that are with us in training, and that we recommend for our alumni when the dog goes home after training as a ritual, is what we call our standard obedience drill, right? This drill, we're going to be practicing obedience, and we have an obedience routine that's going to be practicing heeling, downstay, recall type stuff, right? Doesn't take a lot of time, doesn't take a lot of space. But this ritual, this routine is going to maintain appropriate hierarchy positions. It's going to strengthen our bond with our dog. It's going to mentally exercise the dog. It's also going to preserve the muscle memory of those obedience behaviors, right? But if you really think about it, we're tapping into that pack instinct, pack mentality, maintaining leadership, followership. And, you know, it may seem after doing this for weeks, this is boring. It's the same thing. But if you're really thinking about what it's doing, it's a very important piece of your day, you know what I'm saying, to do that standard obedience drill. You know, take your dog out potty, quick obedience drill. It takes 60 seconds. It's not hard, you know what I'm saying, but it's a ritual that reflects the natural instincts that we need to tap into.
Well, and you think about it too, like every command you're giving them that they are following is a repetition of them respecting, trusting your leadership.
Exactly.
Right? So that's why even us as trainers, we're doing the same stuff that we recommend our clients do, the basic obedience drill every single day. You go out with some turns, some downs, some recalls, the same stuff day in and day out, getting repetitions of our leadership.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now that we've kind of touched on how a pack might form and some of the key things that a pack is going to do each day to maintain stability, think of this in your head, routines and rituals, right? Keep that in your head, write it on your wall, write it on your mirror. Routines and rituals, routines and rituals. Say it over and over, routines and rituals.
Like in a Sharpie?
Sure.
Some Jocko
Whatever you
stuff.
got to do to remember it. Routines and rituals, you know. Let's discuss rank order in the pack. There's a lot of myths out there about being alpha. You know, what you should do to be alpha.
Roll 'em.
I'm the alpha, you know. And I hope that this discussion is going to help clear some of that up, okay? So pack animals, they will establish an order inside the group, inside the pack, where each individual has a position in relation to the others. And the purpose of this rank order, this hierarchy, is to prevent fights and daily conflicts, okay? If you know what your role is, if you know what you're supposed to be doing in the pack, you don't need to worry about what so-and-so's doing, right? You don't need to be worrying about nobody else, right? So in a wolf pack or a dog pack, the leader, commonly referred to as the alpha, is normally a strong, powerful, and confident male, okay? There's also often a alpha female who will share overall leadership with the male, but is the number one of all the females, right? So the bond between canine pack members is created, developed, and maintained by the performance of daily survival strategies such as finding prey, catching it, killing it, devouring it, etc. You know what I'm saying? It is when participating in these vital operations that the rank order is established, maintained, or reversed.
It can change?
It can change. The alpha can lose his position if he is no longer fit to lead, and new pack members may test the alpha to determine if he is still a strong and suitable leader to follow, okay? And we see this all the time at homes that we go to, or pets, you know, part of the family pack. You got your pack at home with your, you know, you got your family, human family, and you got your dog part of the family, you know what I'm saying? And the dog is testing you, seeing if they can get away with this, seeing if they can get away with that, trying to break ritual, right? And the dog is becoming successful at doing that, because maybe we're complacent, maybe we don't feel like following through with what we're asking them to do, maybe we don't feel like actually executing the ritual or whatever. Now the dog's starting to think, hey, they're higher up in the totem pole. You know what I'm saying? They're higher up in the hierarchy, right? So that can be a dangerous hole to fall into, right? You guys have anything to add in that before we keep going here?
I mean, this is a continual thing, right? So like even post-training, even our dogs, we train every day. If you get complacent, if you slack off, they're going to test you to make sure you're fit to lead, right? And if you're not, they're going to try to change the hierarchy. They're going to try to be to where they're running the show. So even with training, you can find you're having some issues because this is what dogs do. This is what they're designed to do at the base of the wolf and who they are. They're designed to test that leader to make sure they're fit to lead them.
And often that starts out small things.
Yep.
Start out, see what they can get away with.
Big time.
Build upon it. Next thing you know, because like we said in the last one, told them to sit. They didn't do it. You let them get away with it, but now you're healing. Now it's off.
Sure.
Things like that. So.
Yeah.
Also, your dog is still going to love you. As your dog. Your dog's still going to enjoy being with you, spending time with you. That doesn't mean they respect you as a pack leader. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference, right? All right. So in general, pet owners do not participate in such activities, and neither do their dogs. We're talking about activities like finding prey, catching it, killing it, devouring it. Could you see someone running around the yard
chasing a rabbit,
chasing some squirrels, and they grab it with their mouth, they drag it around, throw it.
You guys don't do that?
That's why you and
I
Vader
took
are so
this
tight.
stuff literally. Oops.
So, in general, pet owners are not going to do that, right?
I got one, Vader. I got one.
But some do, right? So there are hunting dogs. There are people that do engage in that. So there are some times where you would have that kind of thing going on.
Also in the normal general pet home, feeding procedures, they're typically routine, they're mundane, they're boring. It's just put food in a bowl, put it out for the dog, good to go.
Or leave a bowl of food.
Leave a bowl of food.
24/7.
Automatic feeder, constant food in the bowl, all that kind of stuff. What's so funny?
Ben laughed at that one.
So in this case, what we're talking about here, being in the family pack, the pet home, the dog should regard itself as lower in rank than all human members of the household, and also should not regard children as lower ranking puppies, which is something you got to watch out for as well. You know what I'm saying? What's so funny, man?
Why are you looking at Ben? He doesn't have any kids.
Busting out.
He's just reading the podcast, just staring through Ben.
Right? So your dog should regard itself as lower in rank than all human members and should not regard children as lower ranking puppies. Right? So in order to achieve the alpha role in the family pack, the owner must use artificial situations and exercises designed for this purpose to reflect that pack leader mentality, right? Which will also instigate the dog's natural pack instincts. Does that make sense? Right? So because we're not doing the things that a natural pack does out in the wild, hunting, migrating, chasing prey, killing it, directing what people need to be doing, eating in a manner of hierarchy first, we need to come up with situations and exercises, at our home that we can use to tap into these natural pack instincts because we're not performing these functions, these vital daily functions with our dog like the natural pack would, right? So we're going to be discussing 3 ways that we can simulate some of these natural pack behaviors to instinctually communicate with our dogs and to achieve the role as pack leader. Okay? So first, let's remember that the pack leader is responsible for daily survival strategies. So with this in mind, we have to control the pack's vital resources, which are primarily going to be food and water, right? We can start by giving our dog food on a schedule, right? Which also taps into the routine aspect of a pack because we got our food on the schedule. It's also a vital resource, so now we're tapping into 2 instincts, right?
Kevin?
Also, good little elevator music. Also, going even further, we can have our dog perform some type of behavior before feeding time, which will even tap further into a ritual aspect of the pack. So in this first Recommendation, this first scenario that we can use to simulate natural pack behavior, we got 3 pieces. We got vital resource, which would be food and water. We got a schedule, which is routine. And then we've got, you perform some type of behavior before you get the vital resource, which is now ritual, right? So boom, boom, boom.
Bang, bang,
go.
bang.
Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Good
Ring
to go.
the ding dong. You got it, boys.
So an example of this could be you're taking your dog for a walk before feeding time, or you feed your dog after they complete a series of obedience exercises, right? Again, not only is this going to control the vital resources, but it's also going to tap into routines and rituals aspect of pack structure, right? Routines and rituals. We should just have a recording of me saying that, routines and rituals.
Salute.
Oh, we can do like a tape, like that people can listen to when they're sleeping.
Oh yeah.
I just imagine that's him in his sleep.
Yeah.
All right, second recommendation here, second way that we can simulate natural pack behavior. That's going to be the pack operates in structured manner with routines and rituals.
There it is again.
Then as the pack leader for our family pack, we need to reflect and implement these important aspects of a pack. An example routine could be, I get up to feed my dog in the morning, 7 a.m. I take a walk, I train obedience, put my dog in a kennel when I go to work, come home from work, train obedience, take my dog on another walk, play ball, play tug with them, feed dinner at 7 p.m., have relaxed time around the house, bedtime at 9. Had to have bedtime at 9 for Chris,
Thank you.
So that's just an example of a routine, right? But the key is try and create a systematic routine for you, your family, your dog that your dog knows and understands, which continues to assert your leadership around the house, right? An example ritual that we could implement could be, and there's so many rituals you could implement, like it literally, you could do it, anybody could come up with something they want to do, right? But an example could be when I'm going outside the door, right? If I go up to the door, have my dog do a sit stay, I open the door, they wait at the sit stay until I tell them to go in or out of the door, right? So this is a very short, very easy thing to teach. It's a minor ritual, but it can go a long way with asserting your leadership in the pack, right? You can do that with your spouse too. Teach them to sit, stay at the door. No, I'm just kidding.
You better be careful. Our spouses watch this.
Another example of a ritual could be anytime the doorbell rings, anytime someone knocks on my door. Maybe I allow my dog to bark, but a few moments later, then I tell them to go lay down on a dog bed or a dog cot while I address the door, right? So a ritual could be, we hear something at the door, you're allowed to go, at the door. A couple minutes later, hey, go spot. Dog walks over to the cot, to the dog bed, lays down. I take care of the door, boom, ritual. You know what I'm saying? So little rituals such as these throughout the day with your dog assert your leadership, helps your dog understand their role in your family pack, and will also result in a calm, confident, relaxed pack mentality. You know what I'm saying? I should also get a recording of me saying that. Calm, confident, relaxed. Good to go.
So this is also kind of twofold. Like we've talked about this stuff when we talked about anxiety and insecurity, right? But this is like one of the things that help treat that, is having a routine, something that our dogs can count on. This is going to help them be confident and raise their confidence levels. Because you think like high levels, super crazy high levels of insecurity or super high levels of anxiety, that's not a natural thing. It's not something that you necessarily will see.
Human intervention.
Exactly. So you don't see that in the wild wolf pack. You know what I mean? And this is why we're losing a lot of those things that they do. We're not doing our what is it? Rituals.
Routines and rituals.
Routines and rituals.
Routines and
I need
rituals.
some more repetitions on routines and rituals.
So, that's perfect, you know what I'm saying? But, implementing this stuff every day, it's going to go a long way, and that's part of the reason why what we do is so effective, because we're tapping into this every single day. The dogs that are in training with us, they know the routine. They got the rituals. Boom. Once you start implementing it, it's crazy how fast you do what? You peel away the onion layers.
Peel the layers.
The onion layers come out, that dog's mind opens up, it's ready to learn from you, it's ready to overcome its issues, it's It's ready to be the best it can be. You know what I'm saying? Because not only are you going through the other stuff we do, engagement, focus building, socialization, but you're tapping into deep rooted natural instincts, pack instincts. That's what we're talking about today. Kevin, you got anything?
I'm vibing with you.
Good to go. All right. So the third way that we're going to simulate some natural pack behaviors, okay, is going to be kind of touching on what we talked about earlier. What we talked about? Nothing in life is free. Nothing is free of consequences. So we're going to call some people out right now.
Come on.
Stop petting your dog for looking cute. You're so cute. Let me pet you. Stop giving you a treat. Stop giving your dog a treat because you feel like giving them a treat. You get home from work. You've been such a good dog all day sitting around. Here's a treat.
They're probably going like crazy too.
Yeah.
You're just reinforcing that mindset at that point.
Yeah. Stop letting your dog do whatever they want to do.
Tone it down. Bring it down. Bring it down.
Stop letting your dog do whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Get some structure, get some routine going. Not only do these actions make your dog spoiled, but your dog will absolutely not respect you as pack leader, because guess what? There's no routines and rituals, right? There's no vital daily functions being completed, right? You're just giving them stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to respect you as a strong pack leader. They will love you. Yes, they will.
You're giving them free stuff.
Yeah, I love free stuff too. You know what I'm saying? But, they will not respect you unless you show them that you're the strong pack leader worth following. Nothing in life is free. So if they're getting all these freebies, there's no respect. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. So some ways that we're going to implement this, right? Nothing in life is free. Nothing is free of consequences. Number one, we can reverse some of the things we've been doing. If we've been petting our dog just for looking cute, well, now we can think about this. Pet our dog when they're doing something that we've asked them to do and on our terms. You know what I'm saying? If I'm sitting on my couch and my dog walks up to me and, shoves their head into me, demanding attention, and I give it to them, you know what I'm saying? Not a strong pack leader.
Who's in charge of that situation?
Exactly, So you can pet them on your terms when they've done something you've asked them to do. So if I'm sitting on the couch, dog walks up, shoves their head into me, dogs sit, they sit. And now on my terms, I decide I'm going to pet them. Sure, I could pet them. But if I tell them to sit, they sit. I could say, good, see you later. You know what I'm saying? Go off and do something. You know what I'm saying? So not every time will you pet them, Give your dog a treat for being calm. Not if they're barking at other dogs. Not if they're pulling on a leash. And give your dog free time to hang out and do as they please within reason if they have performed for you at least over 90% adherence to what you've asked them to do throughout the day without repeating yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen a ton of people, they're out there, their dog is barking at other dogs, and they're saying, good boy, and they're handing them treats, and the dog's, so the dog's just getting reinforced for going crazy at other dogs, right? And that's not a calm mentality, and also it's not strong leadership from a dog's perspective. That dog thinks that it's taking leadership in that situation, you know what I'm saying? Or if the dog's pulling on a leash and I'm giving them food for pulling on the leash, you know what I'm saying? Not only are we reinforcing the leash pulling, but we're also essentially removing ourselves as leader. Good dog's completely just gonna disrespect us.
Yeah.
We're just a food dispenser.
We're just a food dispenser.
And from a human standpoint, it's like, oh, we're trying to distract them, build them, bring them back to us.
Sure.
But what you're doing is accidentally reinforcing it.
Right.
I just did a consultation where that was the case. The dog would run out into the yard, start barking at dogs or people walking down the street, and she would try to throw a toy, and at that point it's a reward.
Yeah.
So now he's of course going to do that more.
Bark at dog, get frisbee.
Yeah. Exactly. And then also just letting your dog hang out around the house, do whatever they want within reason. Obviously, things that are not reasonable, like jumping, barking, biting, that kind of stuff, are not going to allow. But, if they've performed for me over 90% throughout the day without me repeating myself, sure, I could give them free time to walk around. That's a privilege you're going to earn. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to allow me to implement some routine and ritual into my daily life with my dog. Just think about it like this. Everything has to be earned from your dog, right? Remember how the dog thinks. Nothing in life is free. So everything that they are doing, they've got to earn, right? Nothing is free of consequences either. And consequences could be either pleasant or unpleasant consequences, right? So if my dog does a sit stay before I open the front door, and while the door is open, great job, dog. You know what I'm saying? I can provide a
Couldn't even use a generic dog name.
great job, Bob.
That's the cat.
I haven't seen Bob in a while. You know, I open the door. Good job, Bob. You know, now I can provide a pleasant consequence if I want to. I could pet them. I could give them a treat. You know, good to go. They have earned that consequence, a good consequence, a pleasant consequence. However, if my dog does not sit stay at the door, or my dog tries to dart out while the door is open, I need to provide a possible unpleasant consequence so that my dog learns that darting out of the door is not allowed. A quick tug on the leash, you know, with a proper training collar is usually an appropriate consequence for this misbehavior. But first, before I start doing that, I need to teach my dog the expectation of sit stay. And we're not going to go through the process of doing that. We've talked about that before. But today we're talking about pack mentality, you know what I'm saying? But like, if I have taught that, now I'm fair to give them the unpleasant consequence of a quick tug on the leash, right? But anything I expect my dog to do, I need to teach it to him before I provide an unpleasant consequence. And that's go ahead.
Well, in that scenario, if you haven't taught that, like you could, the pleasant consequence could be your dog just simply wants to go outside, right?
Yep.
So I could just close the door. Hey, you're not going outside. Now that's an unpleasant consequence in that scenario without if I haven't taught a leash correction or anything like that.
Right. And like in the natural dog pack too, you know, they're not just going to correct you out of nowhere.
Yep.
They're going to teach you from raising you to a puppy to a young dog. You're going to be taught what the expectation is. Now, if you get out of the line, they will correct you.
And it's fair.
It's fair. You know, we've all seen that footage where there's a wolf pack eating. They got the elder, higher ranking members eating first. Secondary members are behind, waiting to eat. One of those secondary members can't wait. They jump up to eat with the higher ranking members, and one of those higher ranking members just absolutely, get onto that younger member, throw him out of the fray, go back to eating. You know what I'm saying? So this is stuff that's happening in the natural dog pack. It's how they operate. It's how they maintain that stability. Sometimes there's going to be a pleasant consequence. Sometimes there's going to be an unpleasant consequence. But you know the rules. You know the expectations. You know the routines and rituals. Don't step out of line. You know what I'm saying? Because I am a strong leader. I'm going to provide you good things when you do the right thing. You know, but I will hold you accountable for the misbehavior, the disobedience. You know what I'm saying? So,
like with anything, it's just a balance.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes, you know, some of these rituals, at least in the human world with our pet dogs, these are also a safety-related issue. You know what I'm saying? Like the sit stay at the door. If my dog thinks they can just run out the door, you know, one day they could run out the door into the street, get hit by a car. You know what I'm saying? Not cool, obviously. So not only is the routine important to assert your leadership, maintain stability in the pack, but it's also important for the safety of your dog. It's important for your dog to view you as a pack leader. That's a safety-related issue too, because if you say something, your dog's not doing it, maybe it's a dangerous situation. Your dog doesn't know that, but you can see that. If your dog, respects you as pack leader, now they're adhering to you. Boom, leadership, critical. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, going off on a tangent. So, not only are these routines and rituals important to assert and maintain your leadership in the pack, but it's also to maintain and ensure the safety of the pack, right? The pack safety should be your priority as the leader, right? All right, so understanding how a dog or wolf pack operates can greatly assist us in developing and working with our pet dogs at home, right? Do you guys have anything you want to add to our discussion so far?
I would just say, hopefully after hearing this, you guys start to pay attention. You know, in your daily lives with your dogs, they are always learning. They are always looking at your leadership and learning about your leadership. You know, and we talked about obedience, or if I've got a heel position, and my dog deviates to go check something out, and I correct them. They just learned something about my leadership. But also, if I don't correct them, they've also learned something about my leadership as well. Right? Yeah. So I would say just be mindful of every little thing that you're doing day in and day out, so that you are perceived as a strong leader that is trustworthy in your dog's mind.
And pay attention to them.
Yeah.
They're always communicating with you.
Yep.
Just got to know what you're looking for.
So reflecting, you know, pack mentality, pack dynamics, pack instincts, super important with every pet dog, you know, from our perspective. But even more important for those people that may be struggling with a highly dominant dog. That dog really needs this stuff, you know, even more so than the normal pet dog,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, pack instincts, pack mentality, this kind of stuff can also help us in our families. If we're raising children, we can apply these principles, right? At work, we can apply these principles with our coworkers, right? The principles of communication, routine, ritual, controlling vital resources. Be careful trying to control your spouse's, food. Be careful with that one.
Don't hide the donuts.
You know, nothing is free. Nothing is free of consequences. You know what I'm saying? These can be applied to all areas of life, you know, just in a little bit different way than the dog would. You know what I'm saying? So think about this stuff. Apply it with your pet dog at home, with your family, in your workplace, wherever, whatever you're doing. Think about it. Communication, routine, ritual. You know, nothing is free. Nothing is free of consequences. How can we apply this? You know what I'm saying? And develop ourselves, develop our packs, you know, become that strong pack leader that they need, that we need, and also that calm, confident, relaxed mindset. You know what I'm saying? So thank you guys for tuning in today. If you have any questions, let us know. Please drop us some comments wherever you're watching this video at. Give us a little rating on whatever podcast channel you're watching on if you're liking the content. And send us any future content that you'd like to hear us talk about. And we do appreciate you guys. We appreciate your support. Hope everyone has a good one. And we'll see you in the next one.